In this lecture, we are looking at the SplitView Control. This is a control that is only available in Qt Controls 1 series because it really targets desktop. It allows you to split your user interface into resizable pieces of content. Let's go to Qt Creator and play with this. Okay, here we are in Qt Creator. We're going to create our new project. It's a Qt Quick application. We're going to call it SplitView Demo. Save it in the usual location. Choose our Qt version. And choose our kit. Finish. If we go to the documentation and search for SplitView, we're going to find the documentation for it. And notice that the import is 1 that they suggest for Qt 5.11. So this says that it is from Qt Quick Controls 1 series. And what it does is allow you to design something like this. You have resizable pieces of user interface, and you can click on the delimiter between the two components, and you're going to have an icon that invites you to drag to resize your content. This is actually easier to show than talk about, so we're going to play with this in our code. If you go down here, they show an example of how you can use this actually. You know what? We are going to use this. We are going to use this. So let's copy, go back to our code and paste it in. You see that there are some things that are not recognized. We have split view is not recognized. We should import our Qt Quick Controls. Controls 1.4. This is the latest version we can use now. You see that layouts are not also recognized. So we're going to import Qt Quick layouts. We can only import 1.3. And when we do this, you see that our errors go away. We should change this title to say Split View Demo. And we can run our application, but before we run it, let's go through it. We have a split view component. It is going to fill our window here. Inside, we have a few rectangles. We have the light blue rectangle, the light gray rectangle, and the light green rectangle. Okay, they specify the maximum width for this rectangle, so you can't extend it past this width. This is what it means. We instruct the second rectangle to fill the available width, and its minimum is going to be 50. Inside we have a text that is centered, and the third rectangle has a width of 200 and the text component inside as well. Let's run this and see what we have. Okay, this is basically what we had in the documentation. If you put your cursor here, you see that we have this icon, and it invites us to resize this thing. The second rectangle can not go below a minimum width of 50, if you remember. That's why we are seeing this behavior here. Let's look at the rectangle 1 and see it has a maximum width of 400. So if we take this down and keep expanding view 1, there is a width it can't go past. Okay, this is the maximum for it. And you can see that rectangle 3, the green one here, has no constraints as to how much it can grow in width. It can occupy whatever it wants. And again, you see these things are growing in the horizontal direction. You can also make them grow in the vertical direction. And the way you do that, you specify the orientation for your thing. Okay, so if I change this orientation to vertical, let's say orientation Qt vertical. What else do we need to change? We need to change all this width property to height properties. So we should say here, layout maximum height and say 400. We should go down here, comment these two out, and say layout minimum height, make it 50, and say layout fill height, make this true. We should also set this to height instead of width. Let's comment this out so that you have it for reference. I don't like to delete things in lectures like this. So we're going to say height 200. Do we have another width? Let's say height here and make it 200. And if we run now, and here is our thing, we can expand and shrink our rectangles as we see fit. This covers all I had to say in this lecture. In the next one, we're going to look at the drawer Qt Quick component. I'll see you there.